What's going on, guys? It is the Coaster Battleman here, bringing you an awesome video here. It is Six Flags Over Georgia versus the best of aerodynamics, and since Six Flags Over Georgia has a ton of roller coasters, I'm putting 12 coasters in for aerodynamics, and this is what the rounds will be like. The first round will be rating the roller coasters out of 10 on how good they are in the small matchups. Then it will be rating coasters out of a certain number depending on how good they are. Like if it's a great coaster, it might be out of 20. If it's a bad coaster or not a major coaster, it will be like out of 5 at the minimum. And then if it's in the middle, it'll be like out of 10. So that's kind of how I will do that for the second round. And the third round will be the true matchups with one park gaining points while the other doesn't, depending on the major coaster. Like if it's not that major, it'll be 1 point. If it's a middle class coaster, 2 points. Then if it's one of the best coasters in the park, 3 points. So that's how it is here. So first we have the Mine Trains, River King Mine Train versus the Dahlonega Mine Train. So I'm not really sure how Dahlonega Mine Train is. It is a mine train, so I'm just going to give it 5 points, while River King Mine Train is definitely one of the best probably the best mine train built by Aerodynamics, so I'm giving it 6 points, so it's 6-5 to start. And mine trains aren't these elite coasters, but they are good. They're decent rides. Steel looping coasters, we have Vortex and Blue Hawk, so these coasters both go upside down, and it will be all tied up. 7 points will be gained for Blue Hawk due to its renovation, smoother track, and better restraints and new trains. It is a solid ride now. While Vortex, it's a pretty old aerodynamics coaster. It's 30 years old. It celebrated its 30th anniversary for 2017, and it's definitely rougher than it was in 2016. Some parts of the ride are good and some parts are not so good. Like the drop is good, the double corkscrew is good, but the Batwing is kind of bad. So, and some of those turns are pretty jerky. So, yeah. Moving on, we have more steel looping coasters, and this is probably my favorite matchup in the video. Mindbender versus Tennessee Tornado, two rivaled looping coaster companies from the 1980s and 70s, but Tennessee Tornado was built in 1989 while Mindbender was built 20 years before it, but both of them are very similar because they're both terrain coasters, and I'm both giving them 9 out of 10 because they're both intense coasters. They both have great inversions, and they have some very intense turns as well, and they are very good ride experiences. So we're tied at 19. Coasters with steep drops, Daredevil Dive versus X2. So this is a pretty interesting matchup. They're two different coasters, but overall X2 I would give the slight advantage to. 9 out of 10 for X2, while Daredevil Dive gets an 8 out of 10. So Daredevil Dive, it's solid, it has inversions, smoothness, and a nice drop, but it's not like this intense coaster, so that's why I'm not giving it a higher rating. While X2, it is an insane 10 out of 10 ride on the inner seats, while on the outer seats it's not so good. So we're moving on to the next thing, hybrids. Gemini versus Twisted Cyclone. So Over Georgia is getting this new RMC for 2018. It'll be like a 9 out of 10 ride. So Over Georgia takes the lead, 36-35. And for the hypercoasters, Magnum XL 200, first hypercoaster ever, 8 out of 10 ride. The airtime is very nice. It is a little jerky, but it's still a very fun ride. While Goliath is a much smoother and more modern hypercoaster, and it's a great ride, 9 out of 10 ride. So Magnum XL 200 will not score as many points as Goliath. And we have the extra coasters. So we have Batman the Ride, Georgia Scorcher, Great American Scream Machine, Superman Ultimate Flight, the Joker Chaos Coaster, and the Joker Funhouse Coaster. So all those points added up have Over Georgia with 83 points, while Aerodynamics with additions with such as the Demon, Loch Ness Monster, Phantom's Revenge, which is an elite coaster by the way, Iron Dragon, and the Matterhorn bobsleds. Aerodynamics will now have 77 points compared to Over Georgia's 83. And the winner is Six Flags Over Georgia. Congratulations. You have defeated Aerodynamics and you are moving on to the next round against Six Flags Great America or Six Flags Magic Mountain. We are going to go to the tournament here, the Coaster Battleman Amusement Park Tournament. Yesterday I did the video with the wheel choosing the parks, and I had the best of category. So we have Six Flags Over Georgia advancing to the next round. Our next matchup will be Six Flags Great America versus Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I am really excited to do that matchup. It will be a pretty cool matchup to see who advances to face Six Flags Over Georgia, another rival Six Flags park. Then we have all the Giga Coasters combined against Indiana Beach, and Six Flags Fiesta Texas versus Thorpe Park on the other side of the bracket. But I feel like there's a lot more competition on the left side than the right side. But that was how I did the wheel. But overall, so far this tournament seems to be going very successfully. So yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.